Who doesn't love a good espresso martini? But what do you do when you're stuck at home and you can't get out to a cocktail bar to order one? My name's Tom. I'm the founder of Capiche Cocktails, coming to you, Cocktail Collective, from my tiny little kitchen in Melbourne, which is in fact the spiritual homeland of the espresso martini. And by now, us Melburnians, we know a thing or two about staying in. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you a little bit of inside information about how you can make a delicious, frothy espresso martini just as good as you get in any fancy schmancy cocktail bar in your own home. You'll need two things. You need to pick up one of these kits here, and you need to watch along for the rest of this video. I'm going to let you in on a couple of little tips and tricks that'll help you along the way. Capiche? First things first, let's talk equipment. To make a shaken cocktail like this one, you're going to need the following gear: a cocktail shaker, a Hawthorne strainer, and for measuring, a jigger. You can pick all of this up for less than $50. You just need to know where to look. Luckily, I know a great website. Before we start mixing, here's a quick little hack to up your cocktail game. Get your glass frosty cold in the freezer for 10 minutes while you measure your ingredients. Here's our easy to follow recipe card that we'll be using for this cocktail. Starting off with white light vodka, which is a perfect example of the great local Aussie spirits that we like to use at Capiche, recently picking up Best in Show at the Tasting Australia Spirit Awards. It's made by 2 Michelin star chefs here in Melbourne. We're using 45ml or a shot and a half. Next up, also from Melbourne, is First Press Cocktail Mixer, a highly concentrated cold drip coffee that makes a delicious frothy crema without the fuss of an espresso machine. 1 30ml shot of this one. You're going to need a bit of sweetness to counter the bitterness of all that coffee. A 15ml half shot of coffee liqueur and the same amount of sugar syrup. All the ingredients in the kit are perfectly portioned out to make 15 espresso martinis at just under $7 a pop. Let's talk ice. If the ice from your freezer looks like little blocks of Cadbury chocolate, you're going to need to upgrade. A general rule of thumb is the bigger the better. Fill the shaker all the way to the top, put the lid on and give it a good tap to seal it shut. Trust me, you'll regret it if you don't. And now the fun part. One good thing about making cocktails at home is that nobody's watching. One hand on top, one on bottom, and let it rip for about 15 seconds. You'll know you're done when the shaker gets nice and frosty cold. Strainer on top and push it towards the front to catch all those little bits of ice. Some people recommend using a second strainer with shaken drinks, but I don't use one for espresso martinis because it can ruin the crema. You'll know you've done a good job of shaking if you get this cascading effect of the bubbles settling down the glass. Make sure you get all the last bits of froth out, and then it's time to garnish. The garnish in the kit are single estate coffee beans supplied by the team at First Press. They use these same ethically sourced beans to make the coffee mixer in the cocktail. Using a steady hand, place 3 beans in a flower pattern, making sure they look just so. This part can take a little practice, trust me. And that's it. It really is that easy. From the first time you open the box through to having this guy sitting in your hand, you're talking 5 minutes tops. Perfect for settling for a night at home, unwinding after work, or, if you're just feeling a little bit fancy. Thanks to Cocktail Collective and thank you for watching the video. Cheers, big ears.